What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Junk. For many of you who grew up in the 90s, you definitely remember Mariah Carey. And Mariah Carey has a very strong voice, and I would say she was in a situation where most of us in the black community didn't know if we should claim her or not. I think her first husband was white, it was her manager, and she had this very strong voice with an appeal that, let me just say, a lot of folks in white America appreciated. In black America too, but you know, she wasn't really a big star with, let's say, like the Jodeci's of the world at the time, the Boys to Men, you know, the H-Towns, you know what I'm saying? She wasn't really the Mary J. Bliges. She wasn't like that, but she was more international. And at that time, a lot of people wanted Mariah Carey. Young, beautiful, vibrant, a superstar. But again, it just wasn't working out with her with relationship. Then next came the relationship with Nick Cannon, right? Once her and Nick Cannon broke up, which is already interesting because Mariah Carey was, you know, older than Nick Cannon, less successful than Nick Cannon. And when he basically talked about why they divorced, here's what's basically a side chick for Mariah Carey, according to him. And of course, they ended up breaking up. They had children, everything like that. But it just goes to show you that Mariah Carey, by the time she had, you know, got Nick Cannon, it was already downhill, right? She wasn't able to get somebody, you know, on the same wavelength at the same level that she was. It wasn't possible at that time. So after Nick Cannon, that was the last time that she had got somebody that was at least somewhat, you know, on the trajectory as her. Then Mariah Carey started just basically becoming Madonna, all right? And, you know, she was still beautiful. It still is very beautiful. But again, not a lot of guys wanted to talk to her at the level that she wanted. And so I kind of found this video that kind of talks about why women like Mariah Carey want to date younger men.
Older men nowadays think that women 35 and up have hit the wall, right? And they don't want anything to do with them. And they are moving to younger women from 18. And so you could sit there, wait, or you could consider a young man who's knocking at your door, who's approaching you, who's saying that I want you. Ladies, go where you are worshipped and go where you are wanted.
So here she says men think that older women hit the wall. But listen to this next part.
Number 2 is that the younger man will worship you because they are so happy that they got you as an older woman that they will worship the ground that you walk on.
So in this next part, she's saying, well, you should get a younger man. And the reason why you should get a younger man is because they will worship you. Now, see, this is where it gets tricky, okay? Because anybody who wants to be around you and they worship you, and let's say you're successful like Mariah Carey, well, what does that really mean? Number one, it means that they can be pretending to worship you, okay? Pretending. Meaning that I really don't like you, but there's something that I want from you. So sure, I can act like I love you because you're Mariah Carey. And typically I wouldn't be with somebody like you, but because you're Mariah Carey and you like what I look like, hey, for the right price, you can spend money on me. So then Mariah Carey got to that situation. Now, right before that, she was dealing with Australian billionaire James Paak, who she didn't even sleep with, and he wanted to marry her, but then she messed that up, okay? Now let's get to where she is now. Mariah Carey is 55 years old, and unfortunately, from what people are saying is, she's basically crashing out. Her performances are basically terrible, and she's spending all of her money on her new boy toy / rapper, Anderson .Paak. Now, Anderson .Paak is 38 years old, and basically Mariah Carey went from a lady that was pretty much able to get a billionaire to a lady who is spending money on a broke ass rapper. Certain insider says that she's shopping at ritzy stores after hours, fancy dinners every night, spending so much money on the guy, partying too much, and then basically the 30-year-old dude is there basically just there for the ride, okay? He's spending the money. She drowns herself in booze. She's eating fatty foods. And now they're blaming this guy, Anderson Paak, as being a bad influence on her, okay? Now, while she has a very high net worth on paper, she is massively in debt and cash poor. She spends money like a billionaire, and some are saying it's a real worry that she could drive herself into a poorhouse if she doesn't rein it in. Now, also, we know that her mom and her sister died like on the same day last year or something like that, and that can have a lot to do with it. But this is the situation that a lot of ladies don't look at when you're successful. When you're a very successful lady and you're beautiful, yeah, you always will be beautiful, but again, you might not always be able to get the same kind of guy you want. I mean, it's called father time, right? All of us are gonna get old. All of our favorite athletes got old, all right? Mike Tyson is old now. I can't whoop him, but he's still old. Steve Young is old. Joe Montana is old. Tom Brady is old. And you just can't do the things that you used to do. And your value in certain aspects may not be what it was. Look at Amber Rose. Amber Rose went from basically twerking on Instagram and being the big booty model to now being in the GOP and changing up and rebranding her image as a Trump supporter. It's not that maybe she wanted to do that per se, but this is where she has to do at her stage of her life. She's entirely like in her 40s. She can't be doing the same thing she was doing in 2005 because Amber Rose is like 41 or 42 now. And so Mariah Carey is not in a situation where a guy who's a billionaire is going to be like, you know what? I want to deal with Mariah Carey. Well, know why? Because Mariah Carey probably don't want to change her ways. And just like that one lady, I believe she was a Caribbean or Jamaican lady saying, hey, these guys think you hit the wall. So what you should do is go and find somebody who worships you, which is always a bad idea, okay? Because a younger guy who worships you most likely probably doesn't have any experience, and he's probably not going to be any benefit to you. So what you're saying is you don't want to change yourself. You want to remain as you are. And so when you remain as you are, you're still going to be unhappy because let me tell you something. When you're with somebody who just worships you and you're a woman, you can pretty much do whatever you want to the guy. And then guess what? You probably don't even like the guy. You don't even respect the guy. You're going to be looking for a challenge. And instead of you figuring out what you need to do to get a high value guy, which is what Beyonce did, you basically want to just settle for a guy you can push over. And you don't understand that you're going to do so at a cost usually, okay? You're probably going to not be as attracted to the guy, but you're going to be paying for the guy. That's what all these women are doing now. You want a man that you can control, that you feel is attractive? Become Keke Palmer. That's what she does. Keke Palmer has a guy that she proudly pays for, all right? She pays for this dude, period. That's what it is. Keke Palmer is tricking off on a man, spending money on cheeks getting clapped. Lizzo is spending money on Mike Wright. He's an in-shape guy or a thin guy, more thinner than her. Now, she has lost a lot of weight, but this is what it is, okay? She's spending money. Why is she spending money? Because she has to. It's not that she's not attractive. It's just that, hey, the guy that I would really want to be with either is already not interested or is already with somebody else, or there's too much competition for the guy. So now I got to go out here and basically get in debt over somebody to be with me. And that's why improving yourself is always so important. Like, a lot of women got to understand this, and men too, but hey, you just can't say, I need to find a guy that will get with my program, because it's not gonna work out the way you think. You're gonna end up with a guy that's not as successful as you, and then guess what? He won't be able to make decisions that helps you. He won't be able to contribute. And then ultimately, you'll be able to spend money on him, and then when that money dries up, hey, he's gone. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Jump. Which is your fault. You do subscribe to the bell. We're out.